Hi, my name is Cristina Villasina with Empleos and Employment, and I'm here today with Lazara Semanate. Lazara is a second-generation Cuban. Bienvenida, Lazara.
Hola, Cristina.
Lazara, I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me where you grew up.
Well, I grew up in Miami, Florida. I have two older brothers, and I have a family here in Columbus, Ohio.
So you are the only daughter?
The only child, the only girl, and the youngest child.
And the youngest child.
Mm-hmm.
And what brought you to Ohio?
Actually, career opportunity. My husband got a promotion with the company that we work for, and we relocated here about 15 months ago.
Now, growing up, did you have any mentors?
I did. I actually have what I feel two very good mentors. One being my father, and I learned a lot from him because he taught me good values for the work environment, for the workplace. And I actually had somebody else that when I was 17, he actually took me under his wing and he kind of helped me develop into a certain career path.
Have you had any challenges in your career?
Absolutely. Being female, one of, unfortunately, sometimes the industry that I work in insurance, sometimes this industry is very guided by men in sales, and I am a professional sales woman, and some corporations don't perceive that women can be leaders in the sales department.
Have you felt that being a woman has been harder, that you have to work harder than if you were not?
I don't think that I have to work harder, but I definitely need to prove myself in the sense that if I'm faced with any challenges, that I can overcome it. With the same sense that empathy comes into play as well. Sometimes you have to hold that emotional part. So yeah, sometimes it's challenging, but I feel that we as women probably bring something different to the table.
As a professional woman, how do you balance your life?
That's the hardest thing. I think knowing that you have a support group, I think one of the most important things for women is when you want to be in the professional workforce, I think that you have to have support at home. Having that support at home, I think, with your spouse being able to take some chores or to even help out with your kids, I think that that's very important. But definitely, it's one of the bigger challenges that we women can face in this workforce.
Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
I see myself continuing to grow my business. I see myself continue to be involved in community events. It's one of the things that I strive on. It's one of my passions. I love to help out in the community, but most of all to be with my family.
How do you keep a competitive edge?
Actually, you have to. With how times change nowadays, you have to continue to learn. You have to continue to study. And to self-development is a huge one to keep a competitive edge.
Do you think you have a good connection with those that are maybe first-generation Latino living in this country? Because you actually were born here?
Absolutely. I feel that I was born in the wrong country. I really feel that I'm first generation overall. Anyone that meets me, I always tell them that I'm Cuban. I never tell them that I'm Cuban American because I definitely feel that I have that connection to my roots.
How do you keep your culture alive in your new family?
Well, one of the best ways is by the food, by making sure that I incorporate authentic Latin Cuban food in my house. So I learned how to cook. I also can educate my daughter about our culture. She's currently taking Spanish classes, so we try to incorporate that pretty frequently because we know that we're more marketable in the workforce. So we try to incorporate that with her.
If you could start over again, what would you do differently this time?
What would I do differently? I don't think I would do anything differently. I think that I have chosen the path that I have decided to choose, and I have faced the obstacles that have been put before me to make me a stronger human being. And without that, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't make anything different.
What would you like your family or your daughter to continue with the culture? What are some of the cultural things that you would like her to share with her future family?
Knowing that, I think one of the bigger things, at least for Cubans, are that the sacrifices that we have made, or not we, but my dad and my mom made, leaving that country, and knowing that you're giving up your entire culture to move into a different country and to embrace differences that perhaps you didn't know in your own country. And what I mean by that is making sure that she understands where we came from, making sure that she understands the sacrifices that her ancestors made to their country, and how her grandparents actually sacrificed their lives, their homes, their businesses to move into the United States to build on freedom. I think that that's one of the bigger things that we can teach our culture and our children.
Do you feel an outsider in this country?
Absolutely not. I feel that this is where we're supposed to be. I feel that this is a free country, and I embrace that very much. I do understand the sacrifices made by my parents leaving their country, but I do embrace that this is a free country, and that we're able to vocally speak our minds and not be judged, or not be told not to, or not be told when we can and can't do something.
Now, many times we hear that Latinos are taking jobs from others. How do you feel about that?
I think that Latinos work hard, and not that necessarily they're taking jobs from others, but that they bring something different to the table. With that being said, sometimes it's the language barrier, knowing that the census came out and that there's more second and third generation Hispanics, and that a lot of more corporations are looking for bilingual people. It's not that we're taking over their jobs, it's just that we're bringing something totally different to corporations, and they're embracing diversity.
What would you like to see an employer offer you? What would you like to see an employer offer you so you can go and work for them?
One of the things that I look for on employers is, how I can self-develop myself, or to create an expertise in an area. And when I look for employment, that's one of the criteria that I ask for. If there's any room for advancement, I think that that's very important for somebody, because of the fact that you might get bored, or you might have dreams or aspirations, and maybe that department or that company might not be able to fulfill. So one of the things that I would recommend is definitely asking if there's any room for advancement, and along that, any training that you can do as well in those positions.
Have you had any mentors in your career?
Absolutely. I think that I actually had a good mentor in my career, and one of them was my husband. As a matter of fact, we worked together. We started working together, and as long as you know that person is interested in making you successful or helping you succeed, I think that that's important to have from a boss or from an employer, knowing that if you shine, they shine.
A message for Latino women?
That we have all the power in the world. There's nothing that you cannot set your mind to. I believe that we are as strong as men are, and that we can do just about anything.
3 words that describe you.
3 words that describe me would be a loyal person, that I have a lot of integrity, and that I'm very honest.
Lazara, thank you very much. I really appreciate you sharing information about your journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Cristina.